Erev Tov Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live, and we do have yet another shooting spree going on in the state of Texas. This time we've got 20 people have been injured, 2 people have been killed, and what some are calling a shooting that was planned. We'll kind of look at this video footage right here. The shooting, from what we understand, not sure exactly where this happened. I want to say it was outside of Texas University. It says 2 people are dead, at least 20 are injured. Depraved mass shooter opened fire on Texas tonight. It has been reported. Local cops said that terrified locals had been shot in the city of Odessa and neighboring Midland. A group of locals gathering around what appears to be a wounded person on the road in Texas following a deadly mass shooting. Authorities previously said 2 shooters in 2 separate vehicles, a small Toyota truck and a hijacked postal van, were carrying out the attack. However, Midland police have now confirmed that the active shooter, Hasabin, shot and killed at Synergy Cinema in Odessa. They said there is no active shooter at this time. All agencies are investigating reports of possible suspects. Midland Mayor Jerry Morrill said the attack started shortly after 4 p.m. local time on Interstate 20 and Highway 191, which connects Midland to Odessa. He said they are shooting at random. We have 2 fatalities and up to 20 injuries. Some of the things that we were seeing, and let me just kind of go back up here to this there. When I first began to look at this story just moments ago.
I didn't know how big hail can get. It broke all our windows.
The only one home was our 16-year-old son. He picked up what the most important thing to him was, which was video games and the cat.
And then we called you.
I have no idea where that's going off at there. But anyway, see if we get anything here. This might be from the police itself.
Midland County. Let's start at the beginning. Situation started about 3:17 this afternoon when a DPS trooper attempted to stop a gold Honda. When the DPS troopers got the car stopped, he was then shot by the occupant of the car. The vehicle continued westbound into the city of Odessa and shot an individual at I-20 in our our east loop. Apparently, the subject then drove on our east loop to 42nd Street, where there were multiple scenes and multiple victims. At some point, the subject stole a mail truck, ditched his car, and there were other victims after that. The victim then went eastbound back on 42nd towards Synergy, which is a local movie theater, and at that point was contacted by law enforcement, by officers from the Odessa Police Department, the Midland Police Department, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and I'm sure others. Again, this is a very fluid, changing situation. So please understand that what I'm telling you is not written in stone. These facts, this knowledge can change. Okay. At that point, this subject was contacted by law enforcement, and an exchange of gunfire happened, and that subject is deceased at that location. We have law enforcement injured. We have the DPS trooper in Midland County. We have one OPD officer and one OPD officer.
So that's the information we're getting right now, and it seems to be more of maybe not a planned or staged type of shooting. It may be that we actually have a real type of shooting that went on there. Don't know. A lot of things will change. I know that there are some reports that there was 2 shooters, and then others saying just 1. So at any rate, we were just looking at some of the news this afternoon. I'm actually working on a teaching I'm going to be working on later this evening to share with you guys there. and just a lot of things have been going on, and we wanted to just update you real quick on this particular story because of the seriousness of the information on this shooting that's going on inside of Texas, Odessa, Texas right now. And you know, another thing that was concerning me is we know that President Trump has been looking at possibly signing this new law that would require a federal background checks. You know, if it's just a background check, it wouldn't be that big of an issue. But what they're doing, the law is going much further than that. We just see the surface of the law, but it requires that you have to be fingerprinted and background checked. If, like for example, if you're passing a gun down to your son, which a lot of fathers do that. I know that was done when I was a young man. My father gave me an old rifle of his that had been in his family for a long time. And you would not be able to do that any longer. And in fact, there's a lot of things that this would entail, this law that would be signed by the president if it is passed. Everything would have to go through a federal registration. You couldn't borrow a gun without, you know, like if you're going out just shooting with a friend at a target range. It all has to go through a background check, has to be done that way there. And I know there's a lot of people feel like that tighter gun laws are necessary. I would say enforce the laws you have and you probably stop a lot of problems, but they don't never want to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you, like for example, states that have brought in concealed weapon carry states, their crime rates drop. They don't ever tell you those things. Anyway, we realize though, it's a dangerous world we live in and it's a rapidly changing world. I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Be with you a little bit later here tonight, talking about some other very interesting things in the day we're living in. By the way, I do know we got some serious issues going on with Iran. That is a changing everyday topic as well. And there's been some news that actually was shared with me about a man by the name of Goldberg. And I've tried to do some investigation on Mr. Goldberg. That was given this information. Allegedly, Trump had converted to Judaism 2 years ago, and also they talk about how that he was looking at Jared Kushner as being the Messiah. And the more I did research about this, just for those of you that have been looking at this, it appears to be that information is satire. But the odd thing is, according to like this particular YouTube page here, Friends of David Goldberg, they call it. You know, he talks about a war coming up with Iran. There's a lot of the information that the man was putting out, whoever recorded this, though, that is very accurate, because he actually talks about nuclear strikes being done on Iran. Some of the things that he spoke about in here, though, whether it's satire or not, I could actually confirm some of what he said. That was the one thing that did bug me. Whether or not Trump converted to Judaism, whether or not they believe that Jared Kushner is the Jewish Messiah, well, that I have no idea about. But you know, I happen to notice they put in here inside their own video when they're talking about this man supposedly dying at the age of 59, and people saying, I just started following this guy and stuff like that. In the comment section, then I noticed in here too, they had posted this website right here, www.hg.org, which is all about satires. And so I'm like, maybe it's all satire, but it was interesting though that some of the information that he presented, because I watched several of his videos after someone shared that with me, some of that information though was very accurate. I don't know a thing about Trump. That I can't say. Wouldn't surprise me. His daughter converted, so it wouldn't surprise me. And the issue about Jared Kushner, whether or not he's going to be considered the Jewish Messiah, that wouldn't surprise me a bit either. In fact, I think Jesse with BP Earthwatch has indirectly leaned that direction as well. Now, I don't want to speak out of turn for Jesse. It wouldn't be fair for me to do that. But if I understand correctly, I think Jesse has kind of leaned that way. So, but at any rate, maybe we get Jesse on. I've been wanting to have Jesse on with us here and we could talk about this subject here. But allegedly, David Goldberg was killed on June the 8th. But I cannot find any information that corroborates this. If you guys that are listening, if you do know if there's like an obituary for him for June the 8th, 2019, or somewhere around that time, if you guys can corroborate that this is not satire, I would definitely like to know, because I'm just not sure myself. Anyway, I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Erev Tov. Hopefully we'll talk to you guys here in a little bit. If I don't get it prepared, fully prepared tonight, I'll put it out first thing in the morning for you. You know, listen, we're getting ready. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys. My wife said to me that our friends in Pennsylvania have gotten a larger venue, because we did have a tremendous response for people wanting to come to the conference there in Athens, Pennsylvania. I need to find out what that is, and I apologize. I know we're only a couple of weeks away before that comes in, so I will get that information to you just as quickly as I can. Hopefully I can get that done this weekend, update the website, because I know there's a lot of people that are wanting to come. A lot of people, it already booked out within like a day or so. Let me find out exactly what the number of people it's been up to, so that I can give you guys that accurate information. Then I will go in there and I will update the website as well. I did have a few cancellations anyway, and I really appreciate you guys letting me know you couldn't make it. Most of those were done by email. Email is very difficult though, guys. I get hundreds of emails, and I can easily miss your email. That's why we're doing it on the website directly. Even if it takes me a few days to approve it, just bear with me. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. Erev Tov.